So you're at that point in your English journey where you're good, you're advanced, but you want to make that jump, right? That leap from sounding correct to sounding genuinely natural. Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on two secret ingredients that will absolutely supercharge your English: phrasal verbs and collocations. Have you ever had that feeling? You've mastered the grammar rules, you've got a pretty big vocabulary, but something's still missing. Your sentences are totally correct, but they just don't have that smooth, effortless flow you hear from native speakers. Let's dig into exactly why that happens. Okay, take a look at this. A textbook, or maybe an English class from years ago, might teach you to say, they must resolve their difficulties. And look, that's 100% correct. Nothing wrong with it. But a native speaker, they'd almost always say something more like, they need to iron out their differences. Can you feel the difference? To iron out? It's this great little picture, like smoothing the wrinkles out of a shirt. It's exactly this kind of language that unlocks the next level of fluency. So how do we get more of that iron out magic into the way we speak? Well, it really comes down to getting comfortable with two super powerful types of vocabulary. Let's break down what they are. First up, phrasal verbs. Oh man, these are absolutely everywhere in English. You take a really simple verb like get. You add a tiny little word, a particle, like up, and boom, get up. It has literally nothing to do with getting something. The meaning just completely changes. And that's what makes them kind of tricky. You can't guess. You have to learn them as one whole chunk. And our second secret ingredient is collocations. The best way to think about these is like word friendships. Certain words just love to hang out together. We say fast food, right? Not quick food. We talk about heavy rain, not strong rain. It's not a grammar rule. It's just about what sounds right to a native ear. And learning these is like a shortcut to sounding more natural, because your brain just starts to recognize those familiar patterns. All right, theory is great and all, but let's see how this stuff actually works in the wild. We're going to look at some real-world phrasal verbs and collocations you can start using in totally normal everyday situations. So let's talk about socializing. Instead of a formal, let's schedule a meeting to discuss recent events in our lives. A native speaker just says, hey, let's catch up. Or if your friends are going to a movie, you wouldn't say, may I accompany you? No way. You'd say, mind if I tag along? And a surprise visit? You don't make an unscheduled visit. You drop in on a friend. See how these phrases just instantly make you sound more relaxed and authentic? And it's the same thing at home. You don't just organize the living room, you tidy up. You don't discard your old clothes, you get rid of them. And my personal favorite, when you sit down and eat a whole lot of pizza, you're not just eating excessively, you're gonna pig out. It's informal, it's descriptive, and it's exactly how people really talk. A really great little hack for learning phrasal verbs is to learn them in pairs, specifically as opposites. So when a couple's relationship ends, they break up. When they get back together, they make up. You turn on a light, and when you leave the room, you turn it off. Learning them like this kind of helps both meanings lock into your brain at the same time. It's super effective. Collocations are also your secret weapon for adding emphasis and power to what you're saying. You're not just concerned about something, you're deeply concerned. Someone doesn't just have influence, they have considerable influence and a really powerful life goal. That's not just a strong ambition, is it? It's a burning ambition. These little word pairs make your language so much more precise and impactful. You could feel it. Okay, so now we know what to learn. Phrasal verbs, collocations, got it. But just downloading a huge list and trying to memorize it? That's not the answer. The real question is, how do you make these phrases a permanent, automatic part of how you speak? Let's walk through a simple framework for that. You've probably heard this old saying, and it is the perfect way to think about learning a language. I can give you a list of phrases. That's the fish. It's helpful for today. But if I can show you how to notice, understand, and absorb these phrases for yourself, well, that's teaching you to fish. And that's a skill that will keep feeding your English for the rest of your life. So here it is, a simple 3-step method to make these phrases stick for life. Number 1, find them in their natural habitat. Watch a TV show, read an article, listen to a podcast. Number 2, really understand the nuance. What's the feeling behind the phrase, not just the dictionary definition? And number 3, and this one is absolutely the most important step, make it yours. Create your own examples. This right here, this is the secret sauce. When you create an example that's about your life, your job, your best friend, a funny memory you have, you create an emotional link to that phrase. That connection acts like a mental hook, and it anchors that new vocabulary in your long-term memory way, way better than some random sentence from a textbook ever could. Your examples are always the most powerful ones. So as we get ready to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with one last core idea, the big takeaway from all of this. This is the ultimate mindset shift you want to make. Stop seeing English as just a massive collection of single words that you have to piece together like building blocks. Start training your brain to see and learn the chunks, the phrases, the partnerships. Because when you start to think in phrases, you stop translating in your head. And that's when real automatic fluency starts to happen. So let me use a collocation we just learned and throw a question back to you. What's one burning question you have right now? What's that one thing you're still wondering about on your path to supercharging your vocabulary? Keep that curiosity fired up, because that's the engine that drives all learning. Thanks so much for watching.